you a woman in your 50s and perhaps dissatisfied with your relationship? Maybe you're looking for a new relationship, or maybe you've been in a relationship for a long time. Perhaps you've been married for a long time and you wonder where the intimacy and passion has gone. If so, then I've got a number of tips for you. So welcome to Women Over 50 Reclaim Your Mojo, a lifestyle channel devoted to helping you have the happiness advantage based on the human flourishing and happiness research. If you're new here, then please click on the bell and click subscribe. You'll be alerted to every time there's a new video and they will all relate to you. If you're a regular here, then welcome back. About 47% of women over 50 are single. That could be because they're divorced, one of the silver splitters. Perhaps they're looking for a new relationship. Is that you? What do you want out of a new relationship? Have you ever really thought about that? Well, what makes a woman attractive over 50? I've asked a few guys about that, those that have been either in a relationship for a long time, those that are happily married, and those that are actually looking to enter into a relationship. And there are a couple of things that stand out every single time. So I've conducted my own survey of this question, asking men what it is that they look for in a woman over 50. What I found is that what men are looking for is someone who's really interesting and who smiles, has a sense of humour and can actually be very comfortable in themselves. Now that brings us to something that is unique about being in our 50s, or certainly being a bit more mature, is that as women over 50, you are far more confident. You know what you like, you know what you don't. That's a great thing. So to exude confidence is something that is a very attractive quality to others. But in order to have that confidence, you need to really know yourself, what your values are, what your relationship boundaries might be, and what it is that you're prepared to give to a relationship and what you're prepared to take. That confidence can also extend to sexual confidence. Again, you know what you like, you're not as inhibited, you can actually enjoy passion to the full, you're not worried about all the things that may have been concerns for you in your 20s and 30s about having children, or sexually transmitted diseases, or what people would think about you if you slept around. All of that is gone. So it can be pretty cool to have a relationship that's later, especially if everything still works and you can enjoy great experiences, whether it's skinny dipping on the beach or making love in the forest. It's all pretty cool, and you can continue to do it and enjoy yourself because you're confident in yourself as to what you want. One of the really cool things about falling in love again after 50 is being able to treasure the small moments. You reach a point where you realise that life is made up of lots of tiny little moments. Occasionally there are some big things that you look back on and think, wow, that was an amazing time. But generally, it's the little incremental things that make us happy throughout the day. So as you fall in love over 50, the best thing to do is to treasure those small moments. Is it a warm smile? Is it holding hands? Is it that your significant other makes you a cup of tea in the morning? What is it that actually brings you joy? Because as I've mentioned many times in this series of videos and in my blogs, it's the small moments that make us happy. You can choose to be happy in any moment. And so treasure those little things in your heart and stack those relationships upon one another. It's those intimate experiences that will continue to make your relationship fresh and exciting every day. Another marvelous thing about entering into a new relationship as a mature woman is that you have more realistic expectations and you're less likely to give in to the expectations of others. So again, When you're young, your family, your mother, your grandmother, particularly have expectations about whether you should be married, you should have children, all that kind of stuff. Whereas when you get to your 50s, your expectations are more realistic. You're far more settled as to what you feel is appropriate for you at this stage in your life. And also, I'm sure if you're divorced, you may have actually even found that your friends are very supportive when you go through one of those relationship breakups. And they may even say things to you like, that person was not good for you, and they recognise your newfound happiness in a relationship that you may be in now. And that's because you've actually become the person that you're meant to be. You're far more authentic and you know what makes you happy. So be open, let it happen, and really embrace those realistic expectations of what a relationship will do for you and what you're prepared to give. So what if you've been in a relationship now for a long time? Certainly if you're a woman in your 50s and you're still with perhaps your original partner, it's probably likely that you got married somewhere in the 80s and you're still going. So you've had ups and downs and children and jobs and pets and debts and mortgages and everything. And so now perhaps your relationship feels a bit stale. It may even be that as your children have gone off to university and eventually have left home, you're now faced with somebody that perhaps that excitement of passion isn't there. A regular sex life may have disappeared. There's some extremely interesting work that I would recommend to you by a woman named Esther Perel. She has a podcast and also a fantastic book called Mating in Captivity, and about humans, not about primates or other animals, but about the fact that passion and intimacy are two things that we particularly want from any relationship. And we put undue pressure now on our partners through societal expectations to actually provide everything that we need as individuals, whereas decades and generations ago, a whole village would have fulfilled all of those needs of being a friend, a lover, a cook, etc., etc. And now we expect one person to do it all for us. But one of the biggest things about rekindling the intimacy in a relationship is to understand the poles of masculine and feminine energy, and whether these are aligned or whether there's attraction. So for a masculine energy to attract feminine energy, you have to have both individuals living in one or more of those. Now, we're not talking about male-female here, but we are talking about the energy that is exuded. Feminine energy is flowing. It's not weak, but it's more inviting of the spirit. It's more about emotions. It's more about feelings. Whereas masculine energy is more about getting things done, and it's harder in its expression. We often talk about stepping into our divine feminine power, and that now is the time for women to rise up and express that power that they have, that feminine energy. And I think that that's absolutely true. Another wonderful book at the moment is Lift by Melinda Gates, about lifting women up to express that feminine energy and lifting whole communities and whole countries to a better place and a better emotional and a better economic standing through supporting women to express themselves. So in terms of intimacy, you need those two poles apart to be able to be attracted. And Esther Perel talks very much about being in your own space and confidence, and these are all topics that we've rehearsed over and over again through the course of this blog. It's about knowing yourself and having that freedom of expression that your partner finds attractive and exciting and passionate, and also setting a time aside for intimate interaction with your partner. If you want to bring that intimacy back into your life, you have to be able to think about your partner and stand aside and think about what's so great about that person and what's so great about that energy. What was it that excited you and brought you deep joy, satisfaction, and what was it that attracted you in the first place, and can you get it back? So if you've enjoyed this content, which I sincerely hope that you have, I'd invite you to come into my Women with Mojo membership, which is a private membership club. I'll put the link in the comments below, and that you can join on a monthly basis so that we can continue these conversations. A community group of like-minded women who are interested in happiness, human flourishing and thriving in every aspect of their life, whether it be health, wealth or relationships, just to be able to live an extraordinary life right now. So click on the link. I'd love you to join my membership club.